Oh yeah. This video today for you guys is gonna be about me quitting alcohol. Before I get into this whole drinking, not drinking alcohol video here right now, I want to introduce myself. My name is Shameen Miller. I create videos all around fasting and more specifically the snake diet. The snake diet is all about losing weight very fast and eventually living a fasting focused lifestyle. If you would like to learn more about the snake diet, then I have left a link in the description section down below and you can watch a bunch of those videos, because today's video is going to be a little bit different than what I normally create. However, it is very, very important, and the reason why is because by me living a fasting focused lifestyle now for just over 6 months, I've been able to actually quit drinking alcohol. So this video will be about my experience, what I did, and why I decided to quit drinking alcohol, okay? I'm not telling you have to stop drinking alcohol. You're a big adult, you are a grown up, and you can make the decision that you want for yourself. I live with my boyfriend and he still drinks alcohol, and so do his friends, and I don't force him to stop drinking alcohol. This is just a choice for me and what makes me feel happy. Okay, so importantly, why did I quit drinking alcohol? Well, first of all, I've been drinking since about 19 years old. The first time that I actually ever drank was when I was about 14 years old at the end of grade 9, when I was actually on a rowing team, okay? I rowed on the heavyweight team, so I was about 135 pounds at the time, and I rowed in seat number 2 on an 8-woman boat. And at the end of the season, we went to a schoolboy party, and that was pretty much like a bush party out in the middle of the bush. And so our coach somehow got us alcohol. I don't know where he got it from, but he was older than us, but he got us alcohol. And I drank something called jungle juice, which was pretty much just like a fruity ass drink in like a 40 of have you heard of those 40s? Like they're pretty big. It was like a 40 of, alcohol. And so I drank that. I got super drunk. And I went to my friend's house that night and I got to sleep over there, and it was so funny because during that time when she had a little brother, like a baby brother at the time, and the mom's changing the diaper, and she knew we had gone out and went drinking. And so I just remember sitting there on the couch eating Lay's potato chips. Oh my God, it was so good. But then the next day I was super hungover in class and it really sucked, and I'd never experienced anything like that before. And so I was like, okay, I'm done. I'm not gonna be drinking now until I become of age. My mom didn't know about it at the time, but maybe she's gonna know about it now in this video. So the first time that I started drinking again was when I turned 19, because in Canada, 19 years old is the drinking age. So I had just entered into my first year of university, and this is when we had grade 13 at the time, because I know there's younger kids right now that grade 13 does not exist for them. So when I went into university, I went in of age. I know there's a lot of people and a lot of kids that go to university and they aren't even of age to drink for 2 or 3 years. So, which I don't think it's a bad thing, but when you go into university and excited to be around friends and go and party and all this stuff, it just makes things a lot easier. So I've been drinking since I was 19 years old. I was never really a heavy drinker whatsoever. Probably started drinking wine in about 22, 23 years old. I moved from rosé to white to red, and then eventually over the years I started working towards cocktails, and then I have over the last few years started drinking margaritas, which are fantastic. So I love tequila. I've also loved margaritas as well, and then any types of drinks that are just really fancy shishi drinks where the cocktail maker guy, what are they called, mixologists, they make these amazing drinks and they're fucking so expensive, but they're so delicious and they go down really fast and you end up spending a lot of money on them. So I've partied a lot over my years. I've gotten drunk many times. I've once actually been in the hospital because I drank way too much, way too fast, and I didn't get my stomach pumped, but I did actually get they put the saline in me all night, and the next day I woke up and I was like $1 million, which is amazing, but I've only ever done that once. So I'm not an alcoholic whatsoever, guys, okay? Not at all. I can handle my alcohol pretty well. Some nights, eventually, I grew up with tolerance to be able to drink at least 1 to 2 bottles of red wine, which I love and I miss, but I was able to drink that and I was good. But I'll tell you now the story about why I decided to quit drinking alcohol. This past summer, if you follow me on Instagram at Shameen Miller, shameless plug right there, I was in Sardinia, Italy with my boyfriend. I was there for 2.5 months. He was working and I do freelance stuff so I can, I can go wherever I want. So I was there and he opens up beach clubs. He works for a company that does beach clubs. And so, there's lots of drinking because it's all about date partying. And so most of the weekends, like we would go out, we'd have lots of wine, we'd have lots of cocktails. And the crazy thing is I was like fasting well, like I was fasting at least like 24 to 48 hours a day, and I was doing really well during the week. I was exercising every single day, and I was eating really healthy at nighttime because we'd cook our meals, okay? So I would lose this weight, get a lot more fit and in shape, and I was feeling really good. But then when it gets to the weekends, like you're in like an island where it's all tourism and people are there, and like you go out and the music's playing and you just want to go and like, you want to have cocktails, or when you're, you're in Italy, you want to have like red wine with your dinner. So I was doing a lot of that. And so I was drinking a fair amount, like, so just every single weekend. But this is what ended up happening to me. I would be doing really, really well during the week with not drinking, and fasting and exercising and eating really well. And then on the weekends, what ended up happening is I would go out and drink. I would have a lot of food, then we'd start drinking more and more and more, and then I would come home, and normally I eat with like in a 2-hour eating window. That ended up not ever happening, because then what I would do, I would come home maybe 10, 11 o'clock at night, because we don't go out and really party. So I would come home and then we'd like end up drinking some more, and sometimes I would like end up just passing out and forgetting that's like how I fell asleep. But the worst part was during this time, okay, so not only would I be eating outside of my 2-hour window, so I would be eating and drinking maybe in like a 6-hour window. Then in the middle of the night, around 3:30 in the morning, I would get up to pee, and I would come back to bed, and I'd have to take the blankets off me because I'm sweating like a motherfucker. Okay, sweating so much. Then it took me about like another 30 to 45 minutes to fall back to sleep. I'd wake up in the morning, wake up really early, and then like be so bloody tired for the next day. And this would happen for like a couple of days in a row until I get my ass back into, I kind of kick myself out of it, and I'm like, hey, Shameen, like you need to fix this shit and like get back into fasting. So then I would do like 72-hour fast to be able to like get all the stuff out of my system and like reduce my weight back to where I was before I went into the drinking, because during those times, like on the weekends, like I would gain at least like anywhere from 5 to 8 pounds. And like, obviously like there's a number of that is water weight, but obviously some of that is fat as well. So for me, I was just like, oh my God, I keep going up and down, up and down. So eventually what ended up happening near the end when I decided to actually stop drinking was I started feeling like guilty. I started feeling anxious for having alcohol, and I was just like, oh my God, every time I'd like, why am I doing this? I'm like, it's going in my system. I know exactly how I'm gonna feel. I'm gonna feel so gross and just not be happy. And so I just I knew I had to do something. I knew I had to do something. And you know what's interesting? Like it was the fasting that made me do it. It was actually the fasting that was like, okay, I'm like, this is enough. Like you can't really do this at all. I don't think if I was fasting, I would have like come to this decision that much quicker. So how did I quit? So I was coaching someone on fasting, and she had actually shared with me this book called This Naked Mind by Annie Grace. This book is all about reprogramming your subconscious mind and giving you a bunch of facts throughout the book about drinking. So this book uses a process called liminal thinking, and I'm gonna read this now off my screen. It's an approach that focuses on how we construct and change our beliefs to help people gain freedom from alcohol. For example, in this book, she walks through many common beliefs, guys, common beliefs we hold about alcohol. And these beliefs could be such as alcohol makes me really happy. I really enjoy the taste. I need to drink socially, or just I enjoy drinking socially. It relaxes me. So then what she does in the book, she actually deconstructs each of these points to reveal the truth behind this belief. So this is from like her website, guys. So once you work through the points and absorb the new information, you will notice an interesting phenomenon taking place. You won't want to drink anymore. This book does not teach you how to be sober. It takes the desire to drink away, and you will never feel like you are missing out. So when I got through like the introduction to this book, I'm just like, okay, I was like, I don't know how you're gonna do this, woman, but I'm excited to learn about this book and what's gonna be going on. So this is what I did. Guys, I got the audiobook from Audible. I had actually signed up for an Audible subscription because I really wanted to get the audiobook, and I needed it fast because I was like ready to do this. So I signed up for a subscription. This is not a sponsored video, but maybe one day they'll sponsor me. But I signed up for Audible and I got the book. And during this time, I had started hiking in Sardinia because there's a lot of trails that you can go out hiking, and I wanted to do something different for exercise. So I put in my AirPods and I went out fucking walking and I was listening to the book. And it was a 7.5-hour audiobook. I've listened to the book 3 times, guys. So during the entire book, I wasn't really sure where she was gonna go. She just said, you know, she's like, when you read this book at the very beginning, when you start, she's like, I'm not telling you need to stop drinking. I encourage you, if you are still drinking, have drinks while you were going through this book. And so I had definitely did that, like, because I was still not ready to finish drinking yet. And I was still having some alcohol during that time. But eventually one day I was like, I got to my point and I was like, okay, no, I'm not gonna have any more. And crazy enough, believe it or not, guys, I don't know how this woman ninja'd my brain. She ninja'd my brain, and I have not drank now in over 2 months. I'm very proud of myself so far because I have not gone this long without drinking alcohol probably since I turned 19. I'm saving so much money right now. I feel a lot better. I didn't realize that I actually don't need alcohol to go to social situations because, you know, like I was actually probably like one of the first people who'd be like, yeah, like I have some wine, or hey, you guys wanna have a cocktail? You're ready to go? So for me, it was like a really big adjustment because I actually really enjoyed alcohol in my life. At least I thought I enjoyed alcohol. But now what's going on is that like I'm a lot more fit. I don't crave sugar that much anymore. And I actually don't miss ingesting 1,000 to 2,000 calories, you know, and like how many grams of sugar into my system and having to, you know, work it off the next day and, you know, worrying about my skin, worrying about my sleep, worrying about losing sleep or like sweating in the middle of the night. So it's been definitely like a big adjustment. I have to tell you though, at the beginning, it was actually a little bit hard because literally when I decided to quit, I went to like this big event in Italy and there was free alcohol, people were coming out with the champagne and we had to cheers and we were with friends that had gone out and I was drinking with them just a few weeks before and I wasn't in the right place to tell them, hey guys, I'm not drinking right now. So I like cheers with them, but I pretend to have the drink, but I didn't actually drink it. So after the first couple weeks and being in public, after that, I was like, fuck, I'm like, this is easy. But what I did at the very beginning is I was actually substituting one sugar for another because I felt like I really wanted to be able to like have some kind of treat when I went out to go and to these events. So I ended up getting mocktails, but then I realized I was substituting one sugar for another and eventually I had to like get off the whole mocktail train. Even though it tastes really delicious, I had to stop drinking that stuff because it was it's just not really good for my waistline at all. And it was craving me to want to have more sugar. Now it's crazy because I really have no desire to want to go out. I don't have a desire, when I say out, like I don't have a desire to want to go to bars anymore. I don't really want to go out dancing at nighttime because like I kind of just enjoy going to bed early, and like I know this just like kind of makes me old, but whatever. I'm like 35 years old right now. I've had like my party days, guys, like legit, like I have partied a lot in my time. But to be honest with you, now I am doing quite amazing. You know, some days like are still a little bit hard right now, and the only reason why is because if you do follow me on my social media, I have started the carnivore diet, and you know that is no sugar whatsoever. So all I'm drinking is water, and I actually am having coffee as well. When I go out now at nighttime, you know, to friends and stuff, like they're not only they are enjoying the meat, which I can enjoy, they're having vegetables, which like I miss, and you know, and then they're drinking as well. And so that's been a little bit of an adjustment for me. But as I'm making this video right now, like today is my 8th day of the carnivore diet, so it will be it'll be a little bit tough for the first couple weeks, but I know that I'll adjust and I'll be totally fine. So lastly, will I quit for life? I don't know, maybe, you know, like that's kind of the goal. I'm hoping for that, because if I do get back on the alcohol train, you know, like I don't know, it's gonna be hard for me. Like I really did enjoy the process of it and the act of it, and you know, giving it up was, you know, it was a bit difficult, and you know, trying to live a new lifestyle without it when there's so many people around you that still drink it, you know, it requires a lot of strength and it requires a lot of willpower. And I just hope that, you know, I'm just hoping that whatever comes out of me fasting and this carnivore diet, you know, it's just gonna continuously like push me away from doing that, so that I can like spend my time on working on things that are of quality, that are going to push me more towards my purpose and my goal in life. and still be able to enjoy the times when I'm out with friends and family. Because, you know, like my family actually, they don't really drink. So I actually just, and then even I like my friends, my really close friends, they don't drink either, which is amazing. So like these are my friends that I have back home in Toronto. They don't drink, so it actually makes it a lot easier for me. So the biggest thing is, you know, I've now when I do go out and do things, you know, like I am fully present in the moment, you know, and when I know I'm having a really good time, like legitimately a good time because I am sober and I'm actually enjoying those people's company, versus when you're on alcohol, you know, things are a lot looser and a lot easier because, you know, your inhibitions are lowered and stuff. So, so we'll see what happens in life. But for now, you know, like the way that I see it currently as I make this video for you guys today, like I see myself without alcohol because I really don't need it. You know, it does not do any good for me whatsoever. Anyways, that's it for you guys. I'm not going to talk to you about the effects of alcohol and how bad it is on your health and all that stuff because there's so many videos out there that are about that and you can do your research. I'm just telling you now about my experience. And if you have any questions about things that, you know, you're curious about, please ask me in the comment section down below. I could eventually make another follow-up video at some point, but now as I'm making this, it's about 2 months. So when the video comes out, it'll be at about 2.5 months time in my journey. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to hit subscribe down below, and you'll get more videos about like health and wellness and more specifically also fasting. So thanks for making it this far. I'll see you in the next one. I love you guys. Bye. Hey guys, I hope you're having an amazing day so far. I'm sitting here laying in bed right now. If you haven't watched my video, why not? Because you should, because I had a secret to tell you, but I'll just tell you right now anyways. I got a boob job the other day, man. I got a boob job. I'm not lying. I got one. We're gonna take these here and we're gonna hang them beside the bed as like little chandelier lights. And we're gonna be using these cool, like beautiful little filament lights. So hopefully they work out really well. He's installing them, not me, not me.